Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Broyans Farm. Market is now finished. Pretty happy to say. So now what that means is we're gonna still be picking some stuff for the farm market out here next to our farm, but we're not gonna be going to any of the markets that we drive to with the big truck, like the Wilkes-Barre Farmers Market or the Scranton Farmers Market. And so now we're gonna be spending the next couple days, since the weather's gonna be pretty decent, just cleaning up, getting everything winterized like we've been doing and put away. That way when it snows, we don't have to worry about it. Unlike at the Scranton Farmers Market, my mom likes our potatoes to be washed when we put them in bags. We bag them in the 50-pound bags, like you see right there. And then I think in the cooler here, you'll see some of the 10-pound bags, which is these guys right here. Especially these, she likes to be washed. So anyway, we have about 3/4 of a bin here of cabbage that we'll be able to sell for the next week or so after we peel it down and get that frosted layer off. We have a basket of garlic that she'll still keep selling. There's 2 crates of white potatoes. Here is about, I don't know, probably 4 crates of red potatoes. But we're gonna bring up some more down from the storage. That way we can get them in here and she can use them as she needs them. We're also today gonna be cleaning up all these boxes, all of those boxes over there, and all these crates and getting them on pallets like these right here, and getting everything in the cooler. But first, we're gonna get everything out of the cooler, besides that shelf, all this, and get it outside. We're gonna vacuum, sanitize it, and then put everything back in that we need. So I've been working for about an hour and a half, got the cooler completely cleaned and swept. Now I'm gonna go through with Clorox and clean the whole floor. Everything that was in here is now out here, which was just, this was like the sprayer that goes on the potato planter. Backpack sprayer. We actually use this little one in the greenhouses. We put it all in the cooler though, that way it doesn't get those hard temperatures and freeze or crack anything. And then here's all the green trays and irrigation pump, all that kind of stuff, which is gonna go back in as soon as I get it sanitized. We've never had this many boxes before, like this stack here, and then we have that whole stack over there, which I showed you already. And they're actually quite expensive if you want to buy the box, and then I think you got to buy the lids separate. And so we're not going to just burn them. We're going to try and put them on pallets and then just push them in the cooler for the winter, because we use the most of them in the early season when we're getting like a lot of zucchini and pickles and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm just going to make sure that they are half decent, and as long as they are, they're going to go up here on the pallet, go in. If they're not good, then they will get burned. We've never actually had this many boxes. We had to do this before, but it was the first time for everything. That's probably high enough. And if you put them a certain way, you can get a lot on. Mom's down here at the barn getting logs out to stuff greens into. So I found some Clorox. Mom's like 1/2 or 3/4 of a cup to a couple gallon, so that's about a half. Maybe a little more. So I don't know if you could read the measurements on there, but I was looking at one thinking it was 1 cup. I actually meant 1 pint, and so got that straightened out. We're all good. I'm gonna go and get the mop bucket, head back up to the shed, and we'll start cleaning. Dad's got the water shut off because it's been freezing now, so gotta hook that back up and clean that bucket out. There we go. This thing has got to be pretty old. I don't know how old it is. Clorox is in. Probably rinse that out a little bit. I'll rinse it out later. Throw it around with the end of a broom handle. I've mopped about 3 times in my life. Can't be very difficult. Okay. Whoa. Turn it around so you guys can see. There's actually a little spot for your foot there so you can hold it down so it doesn't tip. Pretty cool. Okay. I think I needed it more wet. Okay, so the first half is done. I'm not really necessarily doing this to like clean the floor like you would your house. I'm doing this more for sanitation purposes. So basically, as long as I get it wet, that's all I really care about. I already vacuumed it, and I'm not eating off of it, so I don't think there's really a reason to scrub the life out of it and get it spotless, especially when we're going to be walking back in here with not so clean shoes. I'm all finished up. I just put the box fan here to hopefully speed up the process a little bit. That way I can get this stuff back in as soon as possible. So now I'm down here at the storage for probably one of the last times with a skid loader to grab a bin for washing. Now we will be coming down again with the skid loader just to drop bins down. But as far as washing goes, this is the last day. It's gonna be getting too cold. And so what we're gonna do is just bag them right out of here, dirty, for the farm market then after that. We have 11 bins left. We were going through them very rapidly when we were going to market. There was at least 2, 4, 6, there's about 8 more bins in here, plus what we had up in the shed when we just got done harvesting. Now, like I said, we're down to 11. This is our last red, and then the rest in here are whites, or at least I'm pretty sure. All the whites are Evas, the red is a dark red Norland, and we might have 1 bin or 2 of Norwis, which would be those 2 right there. So I'm just gonna grab probably this top bin right here of whites and haul that up to the shed for me and Frank to wash. Well, I went down and got the potatoes. Frank was stacking crates. We're putting them on pallets, that way everything can be movable.
I can carry them in and triple them off like that.
Gotcha. Wow, that looks awesome. They probably wouldn't fit in, would they? Without?
No.
I didn't think they would.
It would be way too tight.
Okay.
Okay, so you want them right in that corner?
All right, I'll take care of that if you just want to finish stacking that. But yeah, that looks really good. This will be nice now. Instead of hand moving everything in the spring then again. The cooler is filling back up again, but in a good way. Everything's nice and organized, easily movable if it needs to be. Frank and I now are starting to wash potatoes. Doing a couple reds here just to finish off this bin, and then we're gonna move into the bin of whites that I just brought up. Sometimes the washers don't like to operate too good in this cold weather, but today's around, well, in the shed, 40 some degrees. Outside with the wind chill, it's like 32 or something like that. But in here, it's not too bad. drive off a little maybe. All right, here we go. Potatoes are done. We got 2, 8, 14 crates of white and then 3 red. So they'll go in the cooler as soon as they dry off somewhat. And then we've moved on to just organizing more stuff like these baskets. These all have to be washed in the spring. Obviously that's not gonna happen now. So he's just getting them stacked on the pallets so I can take the skid loader and move them down there when I need to. And then I am working on cleaning out the bottom of this washer. Since we've been washing so many potatoes, like even this past week, it really builds up with a lot of mud. And so just clean that out of there. Then we'll take the hose and wash everything down the drain and it'll be nice and clean. Washer is just about done, the one of them anyway, but we wanted to get the truck unloaded before it gets any later or any colder. This is just stuff we brought back from our last day of market. Jeez, Vicky. In there. And so we're gonna get this in the cooler so it doesn't freeze at all. Frank's up here pulling stuff off for me. Truck's unloaded for the most part. Now what we're gonna do is pull all these mats off. Frank, you can leave the back one go because the back one's nice. Just You can keep that strapped. Just these 4 here in the front. You can see how broken and busted and thin they are. Like,
Yeah, so you guys should go for the front.
yeah, I would just take and pull it right on here if you can, or push it. I can help you, obviously. And then we can break it up and put it in the dumpster. Yep. The cooler is basically about as full as it can get now. Almost all potatoes and cabbage. Then there's some garlic there in the back you can't really see. This is what we brought back from our last day of market, along with these bags of potatoes. And then this is all we washed today. We brought that bin of cabbage back from market, and that is the bin that's been in here. So I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna do with it. Might talk to a wholesaler to move some of this cabbage. But besides that, all this will get sold now at the farm market right here at home. As far as outside here goes, well, me and Frank got the truck completely unloaded. Then we threw away a couple of those sheets that were in the bottom of it. I have it closed up now. A couple pallets to stack up here yet. And then these 4 baskets of onions is what we're gonna save here for ourselves, just for home use. I'm gonna shuck them now, get them in the cooler. And then the shed here is basically done as far as the produce section of it. Down there, we have the potato planter to put away yet, maybe some tractors to move around, and then we're gonna pull the big truck right inside here. Now, all of these onions that I'm keeping will last us probably just about till springtime. By then, they will start getting pretty soft, but even if you have to take a couple layers on the outside off, it's still good on the inside. And so, that just goes to show you, if you buy a good homegrown onion, instead of at the grocery store coming in from who knows where, that it'll last, as long as it's stored properly. Not saying it's gonna be just like it was picked, but it's gonna taste just like it was, as long as you take some of those outer layers off. So I just finished up, it's obviously dark out, heading home now. Got everything done I wanted to today, which is really good. And it's also starting to get very cold, so I'm glad I'm done. But with that being said, that's what I'm gonna call it a wrap for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and always remember it ain't much, but it's honest work.